Peace family, Michelle from supersfarm here. So I'm out here in our raised bed garden this morning. It is 32 degrees outside. I am double layered so I can just take care of some things here in the raised bed garden that I didn't really get a chance to get to during the busy season, so I figured I might as well just continue my goal of intentionality this year and do some of the things that I have been putting off. So when Super made these beds for me, we used mostly reclaimed wood and fence pickets. And so the tops of the beds, you can see, have some of them have, well, all of them have this piece of wood right here sticking up. And that's because we just used the wood that was, that we had on hand. It was either given to us or we rummaged somewhere and found it. But anyway, what I wanted to do was go through and cut the tops of those off just to, make it look nicer and more symmetrical. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I'm also going to do some other things here just to kind of tidy up and get things ready to go for this coming spring and summer season. So that's what I'm doing today, family. Thanks for watching. Alright family, so I got the first bed all cut off. Disclaimer, I'm not an expert, you probably could tell that. And I'm not telling you how to do anything because I'm trying to figure it out myself. So I'm going to go ahead, conserve my battery, and just try to get as much as I can with the length of the extension cord that I have, and then I'll bring you back. Okay family, I had to switch out my camera to my phone because the cable on the camera that attaches the mic to the camera, the external mic, broke somehow. I think I have an idea how it broke, so I had to order another one. It's not expensive, thank God. It's only about a $7, $8 cable. So when I went down to the shed, I made me a cup of tea, and I'm really enjoying this tea. It's a reishi mushroom and rooibos tea, and I blended up myself. I'm going to keep experimenting with the ratios, and I think I'm going to offer this on our website, supersfarm.com, because I suffer with migraine headaches, and I realized that a trigger for me was caffeine. And so I was an avid coffee drinker. And man, if you know me, coffee was my shtick, okay? But I just can't tolerate it anymore. So I really switched over to teas, mainly herbal teas. I do have some black tea and some green tea that I'm also experimenting with, but I'm really enjoying this reishi mushroom and rooibos tea because it also gives you that sort of coffee flavor. I put cream in it, and I put a little bit of brown sugar, coconut sugar, and that coconut sugar, to me it doesn't taste like coconut, the brown sugar, coconut sugar, but it gives it almost like this, I don't know, this coffee flavor. Maybe it's all mental because I miss my coffee. But anyway, it's cold out here. It seems like the temperature dropped. So, oh, it's so good. Oh my gosh. It's so good. Whew, it's so good. I got my hood on because it's cold. I don't like the cold. I told myself when I wake up in the morning, I'm not going to say, I don't like the cold. I'm not going to do that. Every morning I wake up and I already say, thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for allowing me to see another day. And so after that, I have added, and I will not complain. And I will not complain. And sometimes I'm out here in 30 and 40 degree weather and I'm feeding the animals, and I'm singing my song, Lord, I will not complain. Gonna feed my animals and not complain. Thank you, Lord, for the day. So that's like, hey, you do what works, okay? Anyway, so I was just coming back to give you guys an update on how far I made it and let you know that I had to switch out to my phone. All right, family, so you can see here I got both of the front beds taken care of. All of those tops cut off. I didn't cut this one off because this board here is split, which unfortunately, you know, it happens, especially if you don't drill pilot holes in those thin cedar boards. But I'm gonna have to take that one off and replace it. And this is as far as the extension cord got on this side. Now, I do have a Sawzall that is battery operated. So that's what I use on this bed here. Okay, and it's not as a clean cut as the circular saw. So I may come back and try to just sand them down, we'll see. And then my battery died halfway through that one. So I've got to charge the battery and then I'll come back and complete these here as well as those over there. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is just kind of cut all of the like the dead plants that I need to just get out of here. Like let me show you. I have that lemongrass up there. I need to cut that down. And I have this goldenrod here that has gone to seed. So I'm actually using the stalks of the goldenrod. They're very, very thick. I mean, super, super thick. So I use those for like trellises. Here's a couple that I've already saved. When they're dry out, they are really hard, like, you know, like a bamboo stick or some other kind of stake that you would use. So let's go ahead and just kind of tidy up a little bit. Okay, so what I did was just cut the lemongrass down and then mulch the base of the lemongrass. If we don't get too hard to freeze for too long, it might come back. And then I also just mulch the base of the kale there as well as the cilantro. Now I'm just going to cut back this petunia here. Okay, in this bed I have my banana plant. I'm not going to cut it back. I'm just going to let that serve as mulch. Again, if we don't get a hard freeze, that will come back. These onions I need to come in and harvest. I'm going to dehydrate these. And that's pretty much it for the most part in this bed. This was my strawberry bed, and I think the strawberries died from the drought and the heat wave that we had. Okay, this bed, let's see, there we go. So this bed has verbane in it. It's just natural verbane from, you know, it's just wild. These are, I think these right here are hyacinth. Okay, not much going on in this bed. I have some calendula there, and that's pretty much it. I need to figure out what to do with this bed. And I say that because I put down weed suppressant in this bed, like the black tarp, and I noticed that nothing can really thrive in here. It does a great job blocking the weeds, which can't really tell right now. But when I plant something in there, I will dig a hole, and then I will put a hole in the fabric, and then allow for that plant to kind of like actually root in the natural ground. But it's still, I still have trouble growing in this bed. The milkweed does really well, and I had some black-eyed Sues in here that did really well, but for the most part I don't have too much success in this bed. So I think I'm gonna rework this bed, in which I think I'm going to add another layer of dirt. Here's the garlic. This is the succession planting of garlic. It's doing really well. I'm also going to come through and fertilize today if I don't run out of time. Here are the onions. My one little collard green I harvested from. And my mom cooked the greens. I used some of that lemongrass to mulch. I used some of the lemongrass cuttings to mulch the celery bed. Alright. So now I'm back up here to the goldenrod. So we'll look at this bed here. I already cut back the lantana. That's what this is. I have a lantana and dianthus. Alrighty, we'll keep going. And we are at our last bed here. And in this bed, I have garlic. This is a turnip. This right here is plumbago, and that'll come back. And then on the end here, I have Brussels sprouts, fennel, and dill in the corner right there, which I really want to replant. I need to time it just right, because the dill is gonna struggle and if it gets too cold. But I find that like early spring, when the frost is gone, that's when my dill is the most beautiful. And I use dill for canning, so I want my dill. Okay. And here, finally, the garlic. And the garlic is looking good. Okay, family, I need a new tripod. My tripod just does not want to stay like locked in position. So what I'm gonna do now is get my rake and my weed eater and all of the leaves that are down. And I know this is not gonna last long because leaves are falling like faster than we can keep up with them. But all the leaves that are down, I'm gonna rake them into the beds as mulch, and then I'm gonna weed eat around the beds just to kind of clean it up a little bit because it's looking kind of red. Alright, family, all done. So I raked the leaves into the beds and weed eated along the beds just to kind of clean it up a little bit. You know, nature's mulch is the most effective, and if it's good enough for her, it's good enough for my garden. That's going to do it for me today, family. Thanks for hanging out with me. This is probably going to be a longer video just because there was so much work to be done, but thanks for hanging in there. And if you haven't already joined the family, we'd love to have you. And we'll talk to you soon, family. Peace and blessings from Supersfarm.